name is the same as mine. My grandfather's name was the same as mine. So I can understand it. I can relate to it from the standpoint of, oh, there's pressure because now, this person's carrying my first and last name. Now I had my son and I decided I'm not going to give him my name. I decided to dead that real quick. You know what I mean? But I do understand what LeBron was saying in that particular segment. And everybody else, had their particular stories. Michael Bennett had a really good story. Candace Parker had a really good story touching upon, her being a mother to her daughter and how she had to go away for a year from playing basketball to take care of her family and things like that. And again, I mean, I'm not surprised at what I saw in the first episode. It's kind of what I expected.
So what do you want to see in future episodes?
Future, maybe? And Russell Wilson?
Well, if Russell Wilson wants to be there, sure. I mean, quite frankly,
Russell Wilson gets his hair cut with scissors.
I like to see characters there.
You said Kaepernick?
I like to see Victor Cruz there.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I like to see Mount Hill there.
I want to see Lauryn Hill there.
Hill?
I want to see hip hop influencers, R&B cats. I would want to see some true blue, true New Yorkers. Like if Joe Budden somehow ended up in that, I think it would be dope. Or like Dapper Dan.
Now, I think LeBron said prior to the first episode that show was going to travel across the country to different barbershops.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if they're going to go to New York City and hit up one of the barbershops. I think that would be cool. And if they do that, then you're going to get some New York cats up in there. You're going to get some music artists up in there. I mean, I'd like to see somebody from Wu-Tang up in that joint.
Yeah, that'd be
frankly.
Cool.
Yeah, Method Man. Even like incorporate
Tripod Quest.
Yeah, Q-Tip. Even incorporate Puerto Ricans because man, Puerto Ricans can cut their ass off in New York.
Yeah,
that's a part of the culture.
Get Fat Joe up in there.
Man, how great that would be. Or Irv Gotti.
That would be dope. That definitely be dope, man. Even if not just black, not just Puerto Rican, West Indian, many other ethnic groups other than Caucasian.
You gotta get Haitians and Jamaicans in there.
Say that again?
You gotta get Haitians and Jamaicans in there for sure. If we're really gonna do a barbershop show.
But
yes, absolutely. Even though I don't think it beats going to the Jamaican Bakery. Like I don't know if you guys have Jamaican spots.
We don't.
You guys live at.
We got like one on Crenshaw.
You don't?
We got like one on Crenshaw. And it's
okay.
It's
now does the person that run the joint, is she Jamaican?
I think she is. I haven't been there in a long time. So most of those businesses are closed down on a little stretch. But I got a homie in New York and Jersey, and yeah, y'all spoiled out there.
Well, let me tell you something. You ever go to a Jamaican spot, West Indian bakery, Guyanese, Haitian, Bayesian, whatever spot you go to, if the lady got an attitude problem, the food is good.
Yes. I've heard that. I thought it was a myth.
If she got an attitude problem, the food is good. You walk up in the joint, she'd be like, "What you want?" Like, hurry up. What do you want? Let her know what you want. And that's it. She gonna get you what you want. Bad attitude and everything.
We got to do a spinoff show, Bakery Talk podcast. But
yeah, there you go.
But for real, Trey. So I gotta ask you, why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about how you got into the podcasting game with Maestro and all that? Why don't you go ahead and let people know a little bit more about your show and really the whole concept of it?
Yeah, sure. Me and Maestro, we've known each other for 17 years. I moved here in the D.C., Baltimore area back in 2001. I met Maestro through my cousin, who was, a mutual friend. And ever since then, we've been kicking it, chilling, road trips, college trips, things like that. And we love our teams, and we talk about sports a lot, whether we're at the sports bar, whether we're chilling at somebody's crib, or whether we just out on a trip someplace. And me and Maestro just decided one day, hey, man, we talk about this stuff all the time, like, and it's like a crew of us. It's, not just me and Maestro. It's like 4 or 5 other, 5 more of us, in our clique. And I felt like me and him were the only 2 that really got into the sports that deep.
Yeah.
So I told Maestro, I said, man, we need to take this to the, next level, man. Like, let's take this sports talk to the mic. So, Maestro being a producer and everything, he's got all the equipment, recording equipment and things like that. We decided one day, hey, let's do this, man. Let's set this up. And he came up with the name Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. I was like, all right, that's dope. I like the concept. Neighborhood barbershop, unfiltered talk, sports talk. We say what we want. We deal with the consequences later. And boom. So I did the logo, showed him the logo. He was like, yo, that's hot. Let's do this. I got the equipment. So one day after work, went to his crib. We did like a preview show, like a little test run. And then the week after that, we just started, up and running. And we're, 140-something episodes in.
Wow.
And I got to give a shout-out to Doug Stewart. You guys familiar with Doug Stewart from formerly the 2 Live Stews?
Yep.
Used to be on ESPN back in the day.
Yep.
Well, we were like around our 15th episode doing this because we were solely on SoundCloud.com. And, we had like 3-5 listeners an episode. Mom Dukes listen, his mom's listen, family listen, and all that stuff. And then Doug Stewart reached out to us via email and was like, yo, I got a network, I got some fans, and, I want to come hook you guys up. So we got on his network for about 20 episodes. We got a fan base. We got connected and networked with some other podcasters in the game. And, ever since then, we've been averaging about 100 listeners per episode. And, things is looking up. And, we did 20 episodes with their network. And, told Doug, hey, man, we're going to do our own thing, man, but we appreciate the opportunity. So we started doing live shows. This way we could interact with our fans through the chat room. And later on, we decided, hey, let's do a website. So we did that. We did the website. We got some merchandise, which, will be on sale pretty soon. We were just still in a little bind at the moment.
Dope.
But we did that, got the website done, got some other things, marketing-wise done. And so now, we're at this point, we're 140-something episodes in, and, we love doing it every Tuesday night, 7:00 Eastern time. It's a great thing.
Let me ask you this, since me and Kenny are also good friends and we've been doing this for a while. So let me just ask you this. Is it hard, basically having a business with one of your good friends, and how do you deal with that sort of dynamic, whether it's good things or bad things? How do you guys handle that?
Well, it's hard because our time is so limited, because I have a 9-to-5, he has a 9-to-5. I come home, I got my wife, I got my 2 kids who are toddlers. And so it's hard because while I want to do things for the podcast while we're not recording, I still got to make time for family.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, sometimes we go into New York sometime, maybe one weekend out the month. And then other times we got other events, I go see family. down in D.C. I go see family up and around Baltimore. Doing a whole lot of stuff, and the same for him, and then obviously finances, that plays a part as well. And so it gets challenging, and sometimes things don't go as scheduled as the way you'd like them to. But the important thing is to just keep pushing, and one day opportunity will come, whether it's a financial opportunity or another opportunity to network, kind of like what I'm doing now with you guys, doing this interview. Shout out to you, Kenny, for coming on our show a few weeks back. We've been doing networking like that, just trying to build up the fan base. I just had a Ravens insider come on the show a couple of nights ago, who covers a team, used to cover the team for USA Today. Now he's got his own podcast, and he does a lot of writing for the local, newspaper here. So we're constantly trying to network, trying to get people on the show, doing some cross promotion, and for now, as far as that goes, despite having busy lives, that's kind of the way we've been kind of going about it, is just trying to network, trying to build a base. And, once things financially can really come through for us, then we can do some things.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much in the same boat. And so that's why we really appreciate the opportunity to cross promote, stuff like that. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to the whole X Squad too.
Yeah,
no doubt.
One last question for me. As far as just autonomy and knowing when to take a shot, take a chance on yourself. And we see, like, in this age, like Spotify, all these different streaming services, all these different companies and venues, they have algorithms that we have no idea what they are for how they make money off other people's content. Where's kind of your stance on the content creator being able to make their own money, but still partnering with these different entities, like let's say an Apple or Spotify, whoever?
Well, if it's a money maker, I say go for it. I always tell people this. Sometimes as business owners, certain types of businesses aren't for everybody, and people who are followers, and I'm not saying that following is a bad thing, because if that's how you're built, then you should stick to it. But running a business isn't for everybody, and running your own entity and running your own business is not for everybody. So if that's something that people want to do, more power to them. I remember Dame Dash's interview on the Breakfast Club a few years ago. And you guys familiar with that?
Yeah, that's KB's favorite interview.
Yes, yeah.
All his talks are my
so,
favorite interviews.
While he came off a little harsh, a little brash, again, it's about the message, not the messenger. What he was saying was, hey, listen, take $1, go get something, sell it for $2, you flip it, and then you do the same. You get something for $2, you sell it for $4, and you make some money. It's that simple, And he just was trying to bring out the light that, hey, you can make this money. You can become your own entity. You can control your kid's destiny. And so that was the point he was trying to make. Although, everybody can't be a business owner. Otherwise, you wouldn't have customers.
Yeah.
True.
All right, Trey. So on that note, why don't you go ahead and plug up your show? Let our listeners know where they can find you on social media, as well as, your next show and what they can expect there.
Yeah, sure. So the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast, you can check us out on our website at www.barbershopsportstalkpodcast.com. We got a bunch of things on there. We have a video page where we upload videos of our podcast as we do the show live. We record while we're doing the show. So we upload videos there, which can also